Welcome to the motherfucking Hits House. We're here with Attitude TNA Nation, which is TT and Aries channel. We're glad you're here. If you're returning, so glad to have you back. Hopefully you'll subscribe one day. If not, that's okay. But we'd love to have you. All right, so I already did a review of partial of this video, but here TT and Aries are giving couple advice, marriage advice. And don't get me wrong, I wanted to say, like, I could tell that Aries is a changed man. Like, he's more mature, he's more healed, and I love that for him. Sometimes it take a person loving you correctly for you to understand that you're valuable, you're important, and you get the healing. And I attribute a lot of that to TT. Because when TC first met Aries, he admitted to saying this, saying that, which I don't really know everything because he did a whole video on it and I wasn't privy to watching it. But a few days ago, he mentioned that that's what he was about. But now he's about God, Jesus, 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 the Bible, the Bible, the Bible. So to me, it seems as if she's impacted his life among other people in a very positive way. And I love to see that. They are officially married now, and I was just did a video on how I could see a relationship like this working for a lot of people, because a lot of people feel like they have to find love in order to be married, but in reality you really just need to find somebody you're compatible with. And Aries and TC have a tattoo about loyalty over love, and I'm just glad that they got to this point because it took a minute, and he's the way he's talking is different from how I remember Aries a while back. And it's so crazy because people see me as an older person and they're like, why are you watching these young people? I get inspired because I wish I had this mentality when I was early. Don't get me wrong. I think when in my 20s, I was gung ho, church, 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 church. Don't get me wrong. And I could tell you some stuff about the scripture. Don't get me wrong. But like he's just a different person. Like I don't even feel like he's just a negative person for her anymore. Like I don't feel that anymore. Like prayer that he said she been praying and all this is definitely worked, and he's probably been praying. Just overall, like I can see a change and I love it. But the reason I'm making this video is because before his content was different. He would go on Twitch and he would just talk, talk, talk. To be honest, he was just really reading the Bible. And I remember making a commentary on his Bible, like it's cool to read it, but how does it relate to your life? That's when you start really preaching for real. It's like preachers, they relate it to their life, to other people's life. They don't just read the scripture, they talk about it and make an impact for the other people. Now, listen to this video, which if y'all have not seen this video for 5 things we learned before getting married or whatever, I would advise you to watch it. It's very informative. So we've come to the end of it, and I just want you to hear a piece of how he's talking, and you just can tell how he relates the biblical way to, or the scriptures to, his lifestyle and to your lifestyle so you can relate. And I just love that. Like, I wouldn't mind listening to somebody who can relate it, to something that's going on. So let's just watch a piece of that.
Will be following Jesus Christ, but through you, right? So you have to really truly lock in with God, surrender your life to Jesus Christ, and let Him be the head. Let Him really truly be the Lord of your life, right? Because then He will give you purpose, then He will give you guidance, then He will give you discernment. He will give you all these things that are necessary to lead a family, right? But you out partying, you out drinking, you out clubbing, you out doing this, you out doing that. You ain't got no destination. You just out having fun, and then expecting to bring another woman into that darkness, that path that has no destination, then it will not last, right? Because you have to have a foundation in marriage, and if you are not founded on Christ, then it will most likely fail. I'm not gonna say it's 100% gonna fail, but I mean, theoretically speaking, it will fail, because without Christ, you can do nothing. You can bear no fruit. So it's gonna fail regardless. Apart from Christ, because you cannot do anything apart from Christ, that is worth doing, at least. But
And they just go into a lot of things about being abstinent to prayer to how they started off to how they are now. So it's a really good watch, and I just love the transformation because now, honestly, I can say I don't have any fear about Aries and TT. You know, at first I was like, oh, he's gonna dog cry this and that. It's changed. His whole energy has changed. You can feel it. He's serious about living right. He's serious about doing um uh, his spiritual journey, his spiritual path, and you can tell that he's not lying. And I am happy for him, and I don't feel worried about TT. I feel like she's in good hands. He's gonna protect her as his wife. You know, I love that. And he even said that, like, that's his job as a man. And he also said he wants to lead, and she's being submissive, she's being quiet, she's not over talking him, whatever. So in order for a woman to let you lead, you have to be shown that you are a leader who is able to lead. So with that being said, I feel like she trusts his judgment, and she's willing to be submitted, does what it takes, because she wanted to be married or have a family with him for so long, and she finally got that. So it's just good to see that they're in good hands, that they're an example to some young people, and also a testament to the fact that just having love for somebody is enough to get married. You don't necessarily, or loyalty to somebody. You don't have to necessarily be in love with them fully, but if you are able to coexist with that person, be in the same space with that person, the same rooms, go out of town with that person, and you are not too overly stressed from that person, then and y'all have common goals, common paths, then it can work. And I wish them the best, you know, because obviously TC's been said she wanted kids. She said when she was younger and then where she is now. So at the end of the day, eventually that's going to happen for her. And she's doing it the right way with a spouse who she plans to be with. And I love that for them. And for anybody else who wants to experience marriage, because don't get me wrong, a lot of people feel like the only way I can be married is if I'm in love. Because I even thought that. So I would get mad when I would just get in relationships with people and it didn't really mesh. And I knew it wouldn't mesh, but I just try to give it a try. But the point is, you have to find that meshing. If you can find that person you gel with, that you mesh with, have a lot in common with, then you can succeed. You don't have to have love. Now, if you have love, that's even better. But it doesn't have to be the main thing if you have love for a person. You can eventually fall in love with that person, if that makes sense, because of the love you have for them.
But also, if your marriage is not built on the foundation of Christ, then a lot of things of this world will start to distract you. It'll start to deter you. It'll start to look a little bit more pleasing over here. It'll start to look a bit more fun over here. And then, you know what I'm saying, obviously the devil is still around. He's still deceiving. He's still confusing. He's still killing, destroying, right? So the devil's not going to stop being the devil just because you're married, right? So the devil's going to continue to plant seeds in your head and your wife's head and this, that, and the third.
And he will do that. And look at the beautiful view in the background. You know, they're blessed. They're blessed. So they really don't have no reason to complain. They're married. They're blessed. They don't have any kids right now. So they can enjoy their time too. Because eventually they plan on having some. So then it will be a whole family situation. Things are definitely going to be a different dynamic. So, yes, he's definitely a better preacher now. I feel like he could be a preacher now. And if he opened up his own church online or whatever, or even in general, I won't be surprised because he's already going that way. You know what I'm saying? And TC can easily be a pastor's wife. And the whole world knows their story, the whole world knows their testimony. And hey, I'm not mad at it. So shout out to them. Kudos to them. What do y'all think? Let me know down below. Have you seen an improvement in Aries' content? Do you see the difference of him reading opposed to relating it to his life? Could you imagine him being some form of preacher, whether online or in physical form? Or do you consider him a preacher now or a pastor now? Um, is he doing his things the right way? What is your opinion? Let me know down below.